Hello, everybody. This is Kiwi with the Faceoff Ripoff series, episode 3, with none other than Season 1 vet, CrabInATree. Crab, how's it going?
Going good. How's it going with you?
Pretty good now that I'm sitting down with one of the best players in the game.
Ah, thanks.
No problem. You ready?
Thanks for having me.
Of course.
It's nice to feel appreciated, unlike not uh, that other podcast that Dial did, where he never asked either of us to join.
That's true. You should get into that in the shoutouts.
Okay.
But
okay.
How about we jump right into it right now? And what got you into the sport of hockey? Because for those people that don't know, Crab is a Blackhawks fan. So Crab, you can tell us about it.
So when I was a little kid, I never went to any Blackhawks games, but we used to go to Wolves games. I think because they were cheaper and the Blackhawks were pretty irrelevant.
Like what time frame is this?
I was in like elementary school, like 2000, 2005, somewhere around there. I have no clue.
Yeah, I think
But yeah, one of my friends, his uncle was actually like the radio announcer for the Wolves. So he used to actually like take me in the box where they were announcing stuff, and it was pretty fun.
Did you watch the games from up there, or just?
Yeah, we watched some periods. But
That's pretty sweet.
yeah, and then I didn't really get into the Blackhawks until like 2008, 2009, because that was when they drafted Jonathan Toews and Patrick Kane, and then all this hype started building around them. And I was like, I might have to look into this. This looks pretty cool. And then I started watching that, and 3 cups later, I'm a Blackhawks fan.
At any point when you were watching the Wolves, did you see any like players that would eventually come up? Like anyone like memorable?
I had no idea like who anyone was. I just watched the games.
It's respectful. It's respectful. I respect someone who watches a lower league team.
Yeah, it was fun though.
Were they any successful during that time that you were watching them?
I honestly don't remember whether they won or lost. We would like watch games and then also just explore the stadium, just walk around ourselves. We were like in elementary school, walking around the stadium by ourselves. So that was fun.
Yeah. So what about you get the question that everybody gets. Standard 2. What about video games? What are your... I mentioned this. I recorded Tony's interview before this, but it's gonna get released after. But I always see you guys. I think you're part of that group that always plays like weird, not necessarily weird, but like smaller games that not many people play, and you kind of get a little cult that plays it. It's usually you, Omaha Goose, Tony.
Oh yeah.
Like what? Well, first, actually, skip that part. What's the first game you remember playing?
I used to play those like edutainment games like Freddy the Fish and all that junk. Like the first real video game I played was Pokemon on the Game Boy.
Which one?
And, is Blue. And I had fun with that, but the first like game that was like, holy shit, this is amazing, was Mario 64. Like just going from everything I've been doing to like the 3D. It was
that like the release that you first played it?
Yeah. That was we actually rented the N64, and then we returned it like the next day, and I was so sad. And then the next day my dad came back and with an actual one that he bought. And that was then we just played N64 for a while, and that was a lot of fun.
Have you played any like the HD remix of like Mario? I just started an HD remake of Sunshine. It's actually pretty
Nah, I haven't. I do have a Switch. I'll have to look into that if they have anything like that.
Oh, they probably do. They re-release a ton of games. What's your so you say Super Mario Sunshine's your favorite game?
I actually haven't played Sunshine.
Or sorry, not Sunshine, 64.
Yeah, probably most like nostalgic game. I don't know what would be my favorite.
What about like now? Like some of your favorite games?
What's
your flavor of the month?
I really like I can always go back to Dark Souls. I like I guess it kind of fills that HQM niche where it's like you suck at it at first, but then once you put enough time into it, it gets really, really fun.
Like almost like a reward aspect.
Yeah. It's It's a game when you have a lot of time on your hands. Yeah, but then right now I basically just only play co-op games.
Like what? Like is For the King co-op, I assume?
Yeah, that's co-op, and it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of RNG, but it's fun to play.
Respect that. Nothing like gaming with your friends. My favorite transition. You merge the last two questions together, and you get, how did you discover HQM?
It was during the 2013 Blackhawks Cup run. We ended up, that was when Blackhawks beat Boston in the finals, and I think it was like a week or two after that, like a Dal fan recruited on the subreddit, which was the same time as I think Dial and a lot of other people. So I got into that with that recruitment, and at the time, I had some family over from Florida, and I was like, "Oh my God, this game is amazing! Everyone should play this." And we actually had like a desktop and then like two laptops in a room, and we would just all play at the same time, try to get on the same team together. And eventually they got tired of it, and I never did. I got obsessed with it.
They play any league games at all, or just
Um,
pubs before that all started?
oh boy, I have a story for you then, I guess.
Okay.
So I think Otto talked briefly about this. Do you remember when Otto talked about Shoop de Whoop?
Yes.
He was a first round pick that got traded for Otto. Well, when we were playing just pubs, it was kind of obvious that Otto was like one of the better players, and Shoop de Whoop was my cousin, and he was like brand new. And we knew the league was coming, and I didn't sign up, but apparently at the last second he did. And I woke up the next morning, he was like, "Oh, I got traded for KS Auto," and I was like, "You're lying. There's no way you got traded for KS Auto." And apparently it actually happened. He got traded for KS Auto and then never played.
Oh wow, he just didn't play. Was it the trade that made him like not want to play?
I think he played like 1 or 2 games and like didn't do much. And I think they had a lot of pressure on him being a first round pick and like picked up the game a few days before. So I think he ended up like lying to Taze and saying his laptop got stolen.
Oh really?
Yeah.
It's like two things Tay should be looking for: the Dark Souls mention, and then that, I guess. Poor guy. Poor Taze. Bad luck.
Yeah.
But smart.
He got Dial out of it.
Smart T. Maybe it was an inside job by T.
Might have been.
Well, I guess I don't know. We didn't really answer this yet, but what kept you around?
It was I just really like the game, like the amount of control you have like over your stick and your movements. You just can control almost everything except for sometimes the physics, I guess. But yeah, and then eventually I started talking to more people, and yeah, I got hooked.
Just love that never dies.
Yeah.
Well, actually, if you remember this, who was the first friend you made?
So
besides your cousins.
I hate them. I'm just kidding. So early on, I wanted to get better at the game, so I'd come on late at night, and there'd be like a few people on late, and like no one talked, except for like DMB sometimes. So DMB was like the first person I ever talked to, but even then, like late at night, we would just kind of pass around the ice like in silence.
Oh really?
Yeah.
You wouldn't even say anything like in chat?
There'd be a couple things in chat, but mostly it was like just passing the puck around and like trying to do crazy things with the puck. And yeah, DMB was like, we actually started talking about Dark Souls, and I told him I was stuck on one part, and we got on TeamSpeak and he helped me through it actually. So I was like the first person I ever really talked to in TeamSpeak in the community.
Sounds
So,
a surprise to me.
and that was the start of the night crew.
Yeah,
Which
who's a part of the night crew? I know
so it
DMB's
was
in it.
DMB, Baba, Iskin were like the start of the night crew.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Molerat was there too. A lot of names people don't know.
Yeah.
And then later on we got the Beezy. Kwoof was night crew. Goose. We had a lot of people who'd stay up way past when they should be just playing this game, which was a lot of fun. Bo was in there too, I guess. I'll start. Those are some shout outs early.
Whoa. And then there's kind of like a second. There was like a second kind of night crew that included some players later, but that's what you consider the original.
Yeah, that was OG Night Crew, which is now dead and retired.
Sad.
Rip Night Crew.
Game takes the best of us.
Yeah.
Well, what time is like all that happening? You passing with DMB? Is that like before league started?
Yeah, I think so. We're probably around leagues. Maybe around season 1 or 2. Or yeah, we just get on and start just seeing who was on. It was only like 3 people, but I wanted to play, so I played with them.
Well, that will lead me into my next question perfectly because you're a season 1 veteran, and I know you just told me that season 2. I just talk about the earlier seasons because a lot of people don't know this stuff. But you said you had a lot of fun season 2. You could talk about that specifically, or talk about whatever you want about in the earlier seasons.
Yeah. So I actually signed up late for season 1 because of the name Legends Hockey League. I I thought the name meant it was for good people that are good at the game.
Yeah,
I didn't think I was.
who else said that? I think that might have been Otto or Dial that said that. I know someone else thought the same thing, so
Yeah.
talk to Taze about the naming of the league.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bad name. Should have named it Scrubs Hockey League or something.
Yeah.
I would have signed up right away. But yeah, I was in season 1. I didn't play much except for like one game where like no one showed up,
Mm.
and then I got to play because of that. I think we ended up winning. That was like that was
Who's on
really
the
early.
ice? Do you have any idea?
All I remember was K-Bomb was on our team and he was a defenseman.
Mm.
That's how early it was. Like he wasn't even a goalie yet.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't remember anyone else. Yeah, but season 2 was like probably my favorite early
Why?
season just because everyone was really friendly on the team and like I was like I don't know, there's like no meta back then.
Mm.
So like nowadays you have 5 starters and you stick with those starters.
Yeah.
But we kind of just cycled around and everyone got play time even though it was a competitive league. I got to play and we had some close games and one of our early games like we won with like 1 second left and that's kind of what actually got me hooked to like competitive leagues. Just that rush of winning with no time left was a lot of fun.
Do you know who that was against?
Uh,
Who that was over?
Pet the Pizza was on the other team. That's all I remember.
Why did you trash
And
talk him?
yeah, and I passed it to Goose though. That was the start of our Brooklyn chem.
Going to be able to hold this in. I think 15 seconds left to play. The pass in front, nice into the slot.
10 seconds.
Oh, beautiful by El Genzo. He shoots and scores 4-3 with 10 seconds.
Were you active in the community at this point, like talking to people, or?
No, not really. Like I basically showed up to game days and practiced at night sometimes, and that was it. Like I wasn't that committed to the game at that point.
Mm-hmm.
I liked it, but I wasn't like obsessed.
That's understandable. Well, not understandable because actually it is understandable because that's kind of how you are today. You just show up for league games.
Yeah,
You don't
I
hang
guess
out
so.
as much, but you should.
Well, tell me.
Tell you what.
Tell me where you are. Tell me when we're playing. I don't know. What do we even play anymore?
I don't know, pubstars.
Pubstars.
I don't know, draft me next season.
You draft me. I'm not doing.
I might. I'll think about it. but it depends if auto's available. But season 6 was this. How fun was it to be on a dominant team and of course adjustment to 5v5? Do you think that kind of helped you? Everyone adjusting to 5v5 and you
Yeah.
just that whole scenario. You got Taze, Lucic. Was it Taze, Lucic, you,
Sammy
Sammy,
and K-Bomb in
Gabe?
net. Yeah, that was a stacked team that we got a little unfairly when Lucic in the draft.
He went like 3rd round, I think.
Yeah, and it's because he said like he wasn't gonna make games
Yeah,
or
make
something. He
every
might
game.
not. But I think he made everyone but like 1 or 2, and I think he missed those 2 just because he said he was gonna miss some games. But yeah, that was a really fun team to get on, just because, or mainly because, well, not mainly. There's a lot of fun people on that team, but season 1 through 5, I never actually made the playoffs in
Oh wow.
4v4. Yeah, like I was always on bad teams and had some fun on bad teams, but I'm a competitive person. I want to win. So first season of 5v5, I get on this the stackest team in a long time, and it was a lot of fun. And I think 5v5 really, no one was used to 5v5. Like people were just used to like deacon. All of a sudden, there's a lot more people and a lot less room. I think that might have helped with me, just because I was a pass first kind of guy, so people weren't really expecting that. But yeah, I think the biggest change in 5v5 was definitely for defensemen, because before you're kind of alone back there and all by yourself, and now you have someone to help out.
Do you think it's like a chicken or the egg situation? Did your passing style become like this for 5v5, or did you adapt well to 5v5 because of your passing style, or did you develop this passing style because it was 5v5?
What do you mean? You mean
Like
did I become good at passing because of this?
yeah, it's like did you have success in season 6 because you were good at passing and it was 5v5 and like it needed more passing, or did you purposely try to play more mindful of that passing because you knew it was 5v5 and that carries wouldn't really be as effective?
I guess that's something to talk about season 2. So I kind of talked about that game-winning goal season 2.
And you set up Goose.
Yeah, it was an assist to Goose, and then that rush from winning it on an assist was like, wow, that was a lot of fun, and it looked pretty cool because it was like I centered it to Goose. So from then on in pubs, I would never shoot and only pass. Like people would get mad at me because I'd have a breakaway and then I'd turn around and try to pass it to the trailer.
Was it like a thing at that point? Like you just
I just liked. I usually, when I play games for a long time, I usually get bored. So I try to find like the weirdest way to play the game, and at that time it was just passing at every point I could.
That's
So
weird, passing.
I just try to make like I just try to make like the craziest plays and like just try to look cool with passing plays. And that eventually that that turned out to be helpful in later seasons when we got kind of like a passing meta. Yeah, it all started just because I thought it was cool.
Passing that's a lesson to everybody. Passing is cool.
It is. All the new players. I don't know if new players are gonna watch this, but passing is pretty cool.
They want to jump into the lore right away.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's actually a very good. Do you have any other inspirational messages for the new players?
Don't listen to anyone that yells at you. If anyone's mean to you, just put your head down and keep skating.
No, keep your head up. I think it's the
Yeah.
lesson.
Oh yeah. Keep your head up. is, don't throw in pubstars. I don't know. Do you have any more?
This is your interview, so I don't want to tread over your your advice.
Okay. I'll come up with more as we go
Yeah,
for all the
please.
new players out there.
And if they really want it, they would listen to this whole interview.
Okay. So new players, stay tuned. As we go, I'm going to give you tips if you want it for getting good at HQM.
That's a good point. Yeah, we gotta that should be a new part of the series.
Yeah, you got to keep people engaged.
But I'm not to shit on you, but
Hmm.
after season 6, season 7 through 9, you GM season 8, right, Chicago?
Yeah.
But this whole season, you're like top. You're like upper mid tier. I would maybe you were like the top tier of players, but at least you weren't. It wasn't converting into cups, and it wasn't known, I think, by people. If you were, I'm not saying you were. I don't want to pump your tires that much, but like, what was happening during the season was just lack of practice, or is there anything in the season, these like season 7 through 9, you want to call out? Like,
Yeah, I
why,
think
why weren't you the Crab we know today?
I think season 6 actually spoiled me. Like season 6 was so easy because that team was so stacked that season 7 I kind of stopped practicing.
Really?
I was also I stayed in Wisconsin. I worked in Wisconsin for the summer. I
What were you
didn't have
doing
as
in
good
Wisconsin,
Wi-Fi up there.
If you
What?
What were you doing out in Wisconsin, if you don't mind me asking?
Oh, it's just my grandparents own a cabin up there, on a lake. So I kind of wanted to just spend a summer up there on the lake. 'Cause, I enjoy being up there. So I actually
Enjoy.
played like the entire season 7 with extra ping and on like I had a tiny table. Like I didn't have an actual table to put my desktop on. So I had like a table where my keyboard and my mouse were on like different levels. My keyboard was like 6 inches higher than my mouse. It was so weird to play on.
It sounds
But
horrible.
yeah, that was the entirety of season 7. And
Your
at
season
that
8
point,
GM. Oh yeah, sorry, go on.
at that point, I wasn't that committed to the game. I still had a lot of fun, but I wasn't like obsessed yet. But I think season 7 is kind of what did that. 'Cause we had like a really fun team. We got into the playoffs as a 4 seed,
Mm-hmm.
and I had a lot of confidence that we'd be able to push for a cup, and we ended up being the 1 seed. And then we went up 2-0 on Dial in Dallas. And then we blew that and ended up losing in game 7 with like
Why'd you blow that?
15. I think we got overconfident. I don't know. It's like a 4 seed. Dial got too many free goals on us. And
Wait, you said you went up. This is season 8 playoffs. You went up 2-0.
season
7.
7.
Sorry, yeah, 7. Okay.
Yeah, we went up 2-7 and 2-0 in the finals. We lost the next 2. So they tied it up, and then we ended up losing in game 7. And that was probably the saddest I've ever been in this game because I really liked that team and I wanted to win with them. And I think that was like the switch where I was like, okay, I'm gonna start putting more time into this game. I want to get good. I want to get back here and win again. So for like the next 2 seasons, I was pretty shit. Like season 8, I switched over to defense. I was really bad at it. Season 9, I was pretty bad. Yeah. But I was practicing more, so I was getting better, I think.
So it's all like a long-term build for season 10.
Yeah.
So now that I said the magic word,
Oh, season 10?
I said the magic word. We're gonna talk about season 10. Let's start talking about the draft. Because at the draft, you have, personally, what I thought at the time looked like 2 of the strongest teams out of the draft easily was Boston and Boston and Washington looked very strong. And you can make a case for Florida with Matt if he actually showed up. Could have been very strong as well. And, Toronto had Otto and Leafs, which is also, and Briz too, which is a very strong team. You had Big V, who was still very good at the time. Trev Crow, who was also, is that the season he came off of Dallas the season before?
Yeah, he won with Dallas the season before.
Yeah, and Dildo, who was with Philly, who they won that season before, season 9.
Yeah.
We still went late, and you had Fat, I believe, backed up Philly the season before as well.
Yeah.
So did you have any worries about the other stronger teams? Because you have like a team PK, Dial, Delph, Dick Dug, Cap, and BG ended up starting over Dick Dug. And then you had Washington, who had Taze, Lucic, Claude, Jerry. Like these are all very pretty damn strong teams. So did you have any doubts with your team coming out of the draft?
A little bit, I guess. Like, I went into that draft with a plan to draft that exact team, and I got that team.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like I kind of built my draft around my late picks. Like I knew I wanted Fat Scroll late because I thought he could be like just as good as some of the early picks. He turned out to be better.
Yeah.
And I knew Dildozer was like, he was really good, but no one ever talked about him for some reason. So I thought I could get him late.
Which is
And
weird because you just came off a
and
pretty
like
damn hot season.
he only played like half the games that season, I think. But like they were so much better with him on the ice, I thought.
Mm-hmm.
And that just left like the first 2 picks being defensemen. So I just picked the 2 best defensemen I thought there was. But then even after that draft, like I saw Washington and Boston. I was like, oh, this is gonna be hard. And then I think our first game we lost.
Yeah.
We played two games in one day. We lost the first one, and then
Yeah.
the second one we got absolutely curb stomped by Washington. And I was like, oh God, did I screw up with this plan? I was like,
I just was watching, or whenever I do these interviews, I usually search up the player's name on the subreddit to see if there's any side things that I can miss. And there's something that Taze posted about season 17 after you guys lost to St. Louis the first game. He was like, all these seasons Crab got blown out the first night. You went up to win the cup.
Yeah, I've been blown out a lot on the first night of the season. It gets pretty bad sometimes. But
Is the key to a cup is a build character.
yeah, you gotta get that overconfidence out fast and then build up. But yeah, like I think we lost the next game too, but it was a lot closer than the Washington stomp, and we were able to build on that. And like the whole season, I was just pushing like we're a good team. Like no one believes in us. Everyone says we're lucky, but I think we believe that we can play with these better teams.
Mm-hmm. Well, never mind. I don't want to get into it now. It's something about how your teams kind of take a bit to pick up, but that I can get into that later because I kind of want to. But yeah, if you want to talk about that playoff run.
So yeah,
or sorry, Fat Squirrels playoff run.
So like going into the playoffs, we were like sure we were gonna have to play Washington and Boston, and then Washington fell to the 4 seed, and that made our road a little bit easier. Like,
there's internal strife issues.
Oh yeah, you were on Washington, weren't you?
Yes, I was.
You were their PR manager or something.
Yeah.
We played Toronto the first round, and that was a very heavy Fat Scroll carry. I think he like 85% or something. Like I think he ended the playoffs with 80, but I'm pretty sure he did better in the first round than the second round. I'm not sure about that, but like he was very good. And then Boston, like the whole season, we were talking about like Boston's this team to beat. Like it's gonna be awesome Boston at the end of the season, and that ended up being true. And we We ended up I think we went up 3-1 on them, which is a big confidence booster.
You guys did go up 3-1.
And then it might have been too much confidence because then I think they won 2 in a row.
Mm-hmm.
But,
No, yeah, they did 1 2 in a row. Yep, and they went to Game 7.
yeah. The whole time, like, Fat Squirrel's balling out, bailing us out, and I think Trev Crow was really solid that playoff run too.
If you had to give an MVP to not Fat Squirrel, who'd you give it
to? Trev Crow. Like he stepped up on defense and offense when we couldn't do anything. Like he was some of his goals were a little bit physicky. I seem to remember, but he had a lot of nips in the finals, especially that won us games. So yeah, like after Game 5, I think we lost an OT, and it started like creeping in our head that uh-oh, here comes Boston, like this powerhouse.
What day you woken up the beast and died?
Yeah, but everything turned out fine.
Yeah.
And that was a fun cup win, just because it's not often that underdogs win the cup.
Yeah.
I think we were underdogs.
Oh, definitely. Well, you were second seed, but still to Boston, that team they had 15 more points than you in the regular season.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was ridiculous. But let's go on. You GM again. This is the start of the dynasty. Or actually, that was the start of the dynasty, and there's the continuation in season 11. Were you guys like this is kind of a well, I guess it's not a contrast after what you said about how your draft went perfectly last season. This draft goes really well. You're allowed to get Dalfan and BG, were the defense. I think at that point BG had the starting spot over Dick Dug, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure if he officially got it, but he was playing games and he was really good on Boston.
Mm-hmm.
So you get Dalfan, BG, and you actually get BG third round, so you pick up Gabe second round. So now you're looking at a very strong team with you, Dalfan, BG. Like Dalfan and BG and back's a very good core, and then you and Gabe up front. And Narg's kind of new, but you still have him in net. But like, so what was it like to come out of the draft as probably one of the strongest teams, and kind of contrast to the last season, especially when you started the season before?
Yeah, it's kind of weird because like that draft did not go as planned, but we ended up like after the draft, I was like, we're gonna win the cup. Like this is
what plan fell through? Anything specific?
I wanted to get Dalfin and Trev Crow together on D again.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to kind of do my season 10 strategy and go D first. I think he got taken like the pick before. And me and Dalfin were actually talking, and we were looking at who was available.
Mm-hmm.
And there's like no one but Gabe, and we're like I hadn't played with Gabe before. I didn't know much about him, but I heard like how annoying he was to play with, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Like he
How
would yell at his teammates. Yeah, how complicated. That's a good word. And we were just like, are we really about to draft Gabe?
I remember that was a big thing too.
Yeah.
Because I was like, Dalfin and Gabe, how the hell are they gonna play together?
Yeah, we were thinking about that too. It was actually Fat Squirrel was the one. He kept telling me before the draft, "You've got to draft Dalfin and then Gabe. You have to do it. Like it's gonna be really good." I was like, "No, I'm not gonna do that. That's dumb. I don't want to play with Gabe." And then it ended up like our only choice if we wanted a good team, and it ended up turning out fine. Gabe's not as bad as people say. We did have some drama. We had some bickering, but
anything more than bickering? Anything particular or no?
There was one game where like I think someone turned it over behind our net, like no time left, and they scored.
Say a name? Do you know the name?
It was Gabe. And there's a big fight after that, like whose fault it was, and after that, I don't think there was any bickering because that fight lasted a while.
Wow.
But
you get the cup.
Yeah, I think
as the favorite.
Yeah, I think everyone on that team is like really competitive, so everyone was able to, even though we were fighting, everyone was able to come together at the end and really play toward this final goal we all had.
Was it tough to beat Vancouver in the finals? Had Taze and Otto and K-Bomb and Cap up front too.
Yeah, I think that's actually one of my like favorite finals I've played in. 'Cause I think like we had like 2 or 3 OT games.
Two.
Like,
yeah, I'm looking at 2 right now.
oh yeah, and then I think at least one other game was 1 goal. I think. But yeah,
yeah, there's a 1-goal game.
like all the games were like really close, and it ended in 5, which is it shouldn't have. 'Cause all those games were insanely close, and they're a really good
You know, it
team.
shows that it ended in 7.
It,
oh no, sorry, it's
did
5.
it? Okay.
Oh no, it's 5. Yeah, sorry. I'm dumb.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that was a really fun series because all those games were like insanely close, like down to the wire. But yeah, it ended in 5.
Yeah,
Otto's
5 with 2 OT games is pretty respectable.
That was a precursor to the auto carry that was coming.
It's like Game of Thrones. It's like all this shit before the winter starts. But yeah, that's 2 cups. At any point, well, I guess I'll start some of the season 12 questions. Well, actually, I'll start this one first. I have a couple of questions about season 12. Were you thinking about the threepeat? Did you want? Was it a big goal of yours to get that threepeat as a GM? And did that motivate you to sign up as a GM?
Yeah, it was. Like, I think you usually ask the question, like, what's your biggest regret?
You
And
can say it now, or we can go to it later.
Yeah, it's becoming so obsessed with that threepeat. Like,
It worked. Why are you upset?
My biggest regret is trading Jerry. Like, I just wanted that threepeat so bad. I wanted to I wanted to put the best team on the ice, and at the time, it was getting Lucic.
Well, yeah, let's talk about that because, well, actually, if you want to go on about the regret and say you're sorry. Are you not sorry to Guy?
I mean, Guy didn't really play for us, so.
Because the
and he beat me like a bunch later. He won his cups. Yeah, I knew Jerry before from like when we were in I think it was Tampa. We were in Tampa together, and we had like these plans to build a team to win a cup together. And I wanted the 3, and I don't know. I feel bad.
Let's talk about that trade. So
Yeah.
it was Jerry and Jerry and Guy for Lucic straight up. There might have been another throw in on Anaheim, but I was on. I did the same thing for Tony's interview. I did the same thing. There's internal issues. There's threats of retirement, and we benched him because he was late to 1 game, and so it was not a good locker room environment. Yeah. And Skis' biggest thing was, if I'm gonna trade him, I want 2 starters for him. He's the first overall pick. It's only beneficial for us if I get 2 starters out of him. I'm not doing like a first round pick or a backup. Like, he wanted 2 starters. Like, he'd rather take 2 mid-level starters than 1 like carry player, because no one was gonna give that up, knowing the whole situation. So, knowing that too, even all the drama and stuff, why did you take that risk? Even when you had you and Tony, and were you guys in first when this trade happened?
Yeah, I think we'd lost like 3 games on the season or something.
Like, why would you take that risk, getting a player with attitude issues?
Just because I knew from playing with Lucic that he's another one of those competitor guys. Yeah, he's like a competitor. He wants to win, and I knew Anaheim was kind of struggling, so I knew most of that frustration was probably from just his team not doing well. So I knew if he was on like a stack, if I put him on a stack team, he'd be fine. And he was good for us, other than I think he showed up drunk 1 game.
But also, actually, there's not the. God, there's so many questions that interlap because there's so much stuff I want to talk about that I threw at the end. But this is just a touch on one thing. Also, you traded raped Anaheim twice. I guess I wouldn't call the second one a trade rape for the Lucic trade, but
Yeah.
the draft. It's Anaheim's 14th. It's Anaheim's 7th and 24th for your 14th and 20th.
Yeah.
So you
like,
move up 7 spots in the second round. Or I guess you trade your third. You trade your third and your fourth for his second
and fifth
and
or
second and
fifth? Yeah, I think.
no 20th was fourth. So it was like
Was
you
it
just
fourth?
yeah, you just moved up.
Hmm.
You moved down.
I think I moved.
You moved down in the fourth because it was a
Okay.
snake,
Uh-huh.
but you moved up in the second.
Yeah.
What
What
was your idea when go through kind of how that trade formed?
What happened there was so Austin, I guess, was jumping around channels
Mhm.
asking for trades. I took BG first round that season,
Mhm.
and apparently I've heard that Austin was playing to take BG in his second pick.
I think so. I know he didn't want to take Jerry because he had something against people with high ping. He didn't trust that.
Yeah, so I think I screwed up his draft plans a little bit. So he was trying to trade his pick, and he came to my team. So he was like, "You want to trade?" And I said no. And then he left. And then I was like, "Hey, wait a second. I might as well try something." So I just threw him this ridiculous trade that's
I think
heavily leaned towards me, and I eventually got pulled in TeamSpeak, and they told me I was so surprised.
You kind of lagged out right there. They told you what?
Oh, they told me that they told me to announce a trade, and I had no idea that he accepted it. I was so surprised that he actually accepted it. No.
Yeah, so essentially you get 2 seconds. Well, you have 2 seconds. You have
Yeah.
yours and his, and then he has 2/3.
Yeah.
His. So.
Yeah, and yeah, I was so surprised that trade went through, and that
And then you got Lucic.
but
Anything you want to mention? Oh, go on. Sorry.
the trade no one remembers, but I really liked that I made was guy had his surgery that season, so he fell to the fourth, and I just traded up.
Fifth.
Yeah, he fell to the fifth, and I traded up for like first pick in the fifth round because I really wanted him, just because I knew he'd be like the best trade bait there ever was later in the season, and that ended up being what got me Lucic. So
it's the long-term plans.
yeah.
Anything else you want to mention from that season or the cup run? I want to say sorry to Tony for putting him on D.
No, he likes ND. Sorry to Jerry again.
Really feel bad for that. Jerry's a bad guy. You don't want to upset him.
Yeah, Jerry, you play again next season. No, maybe we'll get on the same team.
Especially when he has to wake up or stay up till 12, 1 a.m. just to play.
Yeah.
And this is what you do to him.
Yeah, I still feel bad about that.
So, you accomplish the threepeat. Amazing.
I did.
Amazing job.
I
And
did it.
then you decide, is this because the threepeat, that huge goal you had, since that was accomplished, is that why you didn't GM season 13? You want to break?
Yeah. I mean, I was thinking about taking a break the previous season, but I wanted to be that first in the threepeat. So I ended up signing up to GM anyway.
Not only but threepeat as a GM.
Yeah.
Or was a threepeat as a player done? I don't think so.
Yeah. But yeah, after that I needed a break from it. I needed to just have someone else do all the work. And Zam did really well that season as a GM.
Want to talk about the experience on Nashville? Because Kuf said it was as a backup, he said it was his most fun time.
Yeah, that was a really fun team. I think early Nashville was probably the best I've ever played, and then I kind of fell off late in the season. But yeah, that was a really fun team with a lot of fun people, and I almost made it up to Jerry for trading him, but
couldn't get the job done.
Fell short.
Why do you think we fell short?
Just that second day of games in the finals was rough. I don't know what was wrong, but we weren't right.
We lost with Austin and Fortes, and this was before Austin was the defenseman he is now.
Yeah,
So
I'll blame myself. I definitely should have done more, but we tried to claw our way back, but just fell short. That was a rough end of the season, especially for that was a really fun team too.
definitely sad. Sad.
That was like
Game
the
7. We almost
that
came
was
back from 3-1.
yeah.
That was like what though? Sorry.
Oh, that was like the first season someone ever set like a Snapchat group for a
Yeah,
team.
that's.
No, no,
I'll take credit for that. I'll
that
take
was
credit
you.
for the first ever Snapchat, the idea of Snapchat groups.
Yeah, and then I think
Maybe
that
they
helped
would
a
have came
lot.
along. Maybe they would have came along naturally, but I will take credit right now for team Snapchat groups. So if you've ever been a part of one, you owe me credit.
Yeah, I think it really helps. It's just keeping in contact with your team and just having, getting to know people on your team and just having fun. When it's off ice, off times for LHL too.
It gets you looking forward to game times.
Yeah, yeah.
Always be sending pictures of coffee.
Oh yeah, I remember that. That was
a good meme while it lasted.
yeah. You don't do that anymore. You don't get coffee for every game day.
No, I think I did because that was like during school, so like I would be going to study a lot, and like that was like I think I did the next season, but the season after that I didn't do it much. But there's a personal question that I want to ask for my own personal interest. When I asked Zam like a while ago why he took me, he said it was because you told him to take me. I just like came off an RSL season of goalie, but like I didn't have any LHL experience. So why I don't know why me? Why did I get so lucky to be with you?
Yeah. Well, one of my strategies for a while was just
goalie late.
Yeah, if there's a goalie you're confident in late, to just build your draft around that, like, because a late goalie, like if you think they can be really good, if you build a team around them, then they can be like the best. And
like Fat Squirrel, you got him in the 4th.
Yeah, like I built my draft around getting Fat Squirrel late because I knew he was gonna fall. But the season before, you were in the RSL. I forget what team were you on. You were in Omaha.
Omaha's Nova Scotia Voyagers.
Yeah, Nova Scotia. And I forget what I was doing something on my computer, and I had the game playing in the background with commentary, just trying to pay attention because I think it was the finals.
Maybe it depends on what you're gonna say.
And then Self-Plug was announcing.
Yeah, finals.
And there was a play where they got a shot on net, and Self-Plug just went like crazy announcing. Like he was like, it wasn't complimenting you either. He was like, "Oh wow, what a lucky save by Kiwi! Yeah. He just flailed his stick around and got that puck. Wow, I've never seen a luckier play in my life."
I refuse to admit he'd meant to do.
Yeah, so I was like, "Oh, I have to see this." So I rewinded it and watched it again, and it was the most insane intentional save I've ever seen. And I was like, "Oh my god, this guy's gonna be a good goalie in the LHL next season. I'm gonna get this guy on my team." And yeah, the rest.
Was Zam opposed to it, or I mean, I guess at that point you guys needed a goalie, so you guys were screwed.
I think by the time the 3rd round came, like we were deciding we were either gonna take Tony or Narg. I wanted to just wait for you, and then I think Dial took Narg, so we got Tony, and then then it was an easy pick in the 4th to take you.
I remember there's one game. It was against Boston, or was Boston around that season? Yeah, season 13 Boston. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think we had Koof in for Zam or something. Because I remember Zam wasn't there to see it, and I was kind of upset. But like I remember you told me after, like that was probably one of the best goalie performances I've seen since Fat Squirrel.
Oh yeah.
I was like, I made it. Crab's talking about me. That was such a fun team.
I don't remember the saves, but I remember saying that to you, and I remember like we gave up a ton of grade A chances, and you stopped almost all of them.
I try. It wouldn't be the last time we get together, buddy.
That was such a good team. Why didn't we win?
That team was amazing, and it was so fun.
Yeah,
it was my first season too, so that was like so fun. I'm so mad we didn't win the cup and we went to Game 7 overtime.
Yeah. Ah.
God damn it, that makes me so mad talking about it. I didn't even get this mad when I talked about it with Tony. And you just bring out more emotion.
I need to interview Jerry next. Get all in Nashville.
Yeah.
Zam.
Yeah. But no cup. Threepeat over. At least you didn't GM, so you can use the excuse it was because you didn't GM. But you GM again. Why? Why? Well, one, why do you GM again?
'Cause I'm addicted to this game, and I wanted I thought I could build a good team. I mean, Zam built a really good team, but I didn't agree with all of his moves. I don't remember what it was exactly, but I think he made a trade I didn't really agree with.
He did a trade. It was like,
Oh, I think it was when he traded Omaha, maybe.
was it Omaha that got traded?
I don't know.
It was something we got Kill Pestle or we got DeBeezy or something.
Yeah.
Maybe we picked one of them up.
I kind of wanted control of my own team again,
Mm-hmm.
and that's why I GM'd.
Were you AGM on season 13, Nashville? Or at least in contact with Zam?
Yeah. He talked to me a lot about what we should do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you GM again. You get kind of. Was this the season you had a slow start? Maybe. I mean, every season you kind of do. No offense, but
Yeah.
But
I don't remember how we did.
You
I don't remember a lot about that
any
season.
Yeah, did you make a well? Long story short, you get swept in the finals
Yeah.
by Calgary.
Yeah, that was
Was it sad that you grind to the finals as a third seed, you beat New York, who were the second seed at that time, and just to make it to the finals, get swept? This is your fourth finals in a row.
I don't know. That was a weird team because usually I have a lot of confidence that even if we're like an underdog, we can at least compete. But that Calgary team was stacked mixed with my team. I didn't have that much confidence in.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
because the starting lineup was you, BG, Drag got added late.
Yeah.
And then like Omaha or Juice would play some games, and
Yeah,
Goose and Net. And this was before Goose's Goose we know now.
Like drag was good, but like we didn't work together at all. Like we were not good.
It was too one-dimensional, I think.
Yeah.
With the tipping in front, he was very good at tipping, but it's at the end of the day, it's the same thing over and over again.
Yeah, that was like the saving grace of that season was trading for Juice late.
Yeah.
And he was a big reason we beat New York. Like he was really good in those games. 5 and 6, I think, were the ones he played in the first round.
Take credit for bringing Juice up.
Yeah, Juice is my prodigy.
Just like PKS Sully and there's probably other ones I can't think of right now, but you get ownership of Juice.
Yeah, I traded my team to make sure I could get dibs on being the one to say I made Juice.
Mm-hmm.
But I haven't played with him in a while, so I'll have to play with him next season to get him his cup.
Spoiler alert.
Sorry.
So protections into the next season, and you protected BG.
Yeah.
And again, me and you are together, fun times. But throughout the season, you make two pretty big trades. I think it was like one game into the season, you trade BG for Tony. Why? Or wasn't it one play? I think it was like one play in particular you told me.
Well, a lot of it was just I'd been playing with BG so much, I was kind of getting tired of him. Yeah, like BG's. I like BG. He's like an insane competitor. Like he's probably the most competitive person in this game. It's like if the season before, like we were good, but we weren't that good.
Mm-hmm.
So he was always like in my ear, trying to tell me what we need to do and how we need to do it better. And then
I can't tell if that's a good point or a bad point.
It just
competitive or bad. That's kind of nagging at you.
Like I like people who are competitive, but I don't know. I get tired of it if I'm GM and someone's in my ear the whole time.
Hmm.
But so after one game, we lost, and I got frustrated. And
Well, do you want to talk about the play? Because I think I remember the play that got him.
yeah, like there was one play where I don't remember exactly what happened. I think BG had the puck and he had some room.
He had like an open shot.
Yeah, and in my head, like I was like, "There's no way he makes this," and then he just shot it completely wide, and I was
No
like,
way he misses this.
"No," I was like, "There's no way he makes this."
Oh, because you knew. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah. Okay, never mind.
I'd kind of, so I was like, I've kind of lost confidence in him. Like I don't know if I can, I don't know if I want to play with him if I like don't have confidence in him. So I ended up trading him for Tony, who I've been successful with before.
Hmm.
And
Can you say some nice things about BG to make up for him? Because I know you like him.
yeah, BG. When I said you're a competitor, it's a compliment and an insult. Like, you're very competitive. So when we win, I have a lot of fun, and it's fun to see how passionate you are about the game. But when we're losing, you get a little frustrating to play with.
And then the other trade was Tony for Taze. It was a huge
Mhm.
three-way trade. I remember we were working on that for a bit, trying to figure out if we could do 1-for-1, and we ended up settling on a three-way, which sent Tony to Washington. Who is the guy that went to Philly? I don't know. We got Taze from Philly.
Gabe.
Gabe. Yeah, Gabe from Washington to Philly.
It's
So.
actually a kind of a funny story how that trade happened.
Mm.
Because I think it was Washington was in a playoff spot. We were in a playoff spot. And I think Philly was in last
Philly was in
place.
last, yeah.
So I was in TeamSpeak. Like deadline was like an hour or two away, and then I think Tony said something about, wouldn't it be funny if Gabe went
Yeah.
to Philly? And
Mhm.
at that point, I was like trying to make trades to get a D-man, and suddenly I was like, wait a second. Like what if I do a three-way trade? Like we can dangle some sort of three-way trade out of this. It sends Gabe to Philly,
Mhm.
and it ended up working.
Cause I remember I made like a spreadsheet that was like, you could put in it was all the teams and all the players.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
And like I remember I was like working with, because I really wanted Taze on my team, because I never played behind him, and we needed a D-man at that point because we had Juice who could play up. And like I remember we were working so hard on it, and like I'm gone for a bit, and then I see the trade, and I'm just so confused how you got such a good deal. It was so funny. Like I had no fucking clue what was gonna happen, and I see that trade. But then now we have Taze on our team, so our starting lineup is you and Juice up front, me and Net, Taze and Ghost on D.
Yeah,
So.
that was like the Calgary was still like a powerhouse.
We get swept. Spoiler alert: we get swept by them in the
Yeah,
finals again.
but this season compared to the earlier season, it felt like we can actually compete.
So I was gonna say, we get swept by Calgary, bada boom. I want to ask you, what would that to me, the best part of that season was that series against Toronto.
Oh yeah.
Do you want to
Yeah.
talk about that? I think that was such a close series, low scoring. It wasn't even low scoring, but it just felt like it was low scoring.
Yeah, like yeah, like you saying it wasn't low scoring surprises me because I remember that being low scoring too. Like it felt like no one could get a goal. Like both teams had these stacked goalies and really
self-flooding
good
the other team.
defense.
The first game was 2-1 Toronto, 3-1 us. The next game, 2-0 Toronto, 2-1 Chicago, 6-1 Toronto, 3-2 Chicago, and then 2-1 Chicago in overtime. So there's 1-goal game, 2-goal game, 2-goal game, 1-goal game, 5-goal game, and then 2 more 1-goal games. So I guess it was pretty low scoring. Cause I just remember it was like so much pressure.
Yeah, like it felt like every time we got a chance, Self-Plug would just stuff us. It felt like it was like impossible to get anything by him. It just like grinded away. And that series was extra intense just because it was like it might be one of the only playoff series that had like a storyline behind it since BG was on our team earlier.
Oh yeah, there's the whole trade post.
Yeah. So there is some drama
Well,
between those two teams.
it was like there's so much stuff. There's like there's the trade rape stuff.
Yeah.
So there's BG
Yeah.
on there's BG on Toronto. There's Taze posting the trade rape, or he commented trade rape on the thread, and like that kind of pissed off Toronto or something. And then
he ends up on our team later.
Yeah, it got out of control from there.
Yeah, there's some bad blood, and I think after we won, there's some bad blood in the Reddit too, the subreddit.
Yeah, the post-game thread.
Yeah, I think that's the loudest I've ever been in this game when Juice scored that OT goal. That I wanted to win that series so bad just because I wanted to beat those guys.
I think Ghost might have a recording of it. I'll try to get it from him if he still does. It's just like screaming.
Yeah.
So like at the end of the it's like we got Tony / BG. So technically the trade was like, if we start from the beginning of the season, it was BG and Riven for Taze and Quoof.
Yeah.
Pretty good deal.
Yeah.
But,
I hadn't played with Taze since season 6, so I didn't know that much about him. But yeah, that he'd always been talked about as the best defenseman. Playing with him that season, I definitely understood why he was called that. He's so good.
I'm trying to see where. Yeah, it's Chicago. Jeff commented, or Taze commented, like T Lewis commented, "Wow, Chicago won that trade pretty hard. The original Tony and Evcobb for BG and Bear." And
I didn't really understand that. I thought it was fair.
But and then Taze commented, "Chicago traded raped them, LMAO." And then we get into some discussion about it.
Yeah, and then I think there were a couple memes on HK about being traded raped later that season.
That's when
it all builds up that series.
Yeah. that was part of the fun too, just all the bad blood there.
Yeah.
That overtime goal.
The fun series.
Maybe I'll throw the clip of the overtime goal in there.
Chicago now taking it, sending it deep into the zone. It's a flipper that's not quite. Oh, and it's Juice scores! He tips the pass in midair. It bounces off the post, and he sends it into the net.
Deserved to be a finals.
Oh, definitely. I think winning that series was worth getting swept by Calgary because both teams knew it was gonna happen.
Yeah. I still think we could have beat Calgary.
You think?
I think we didn't play our best, and if we were playing our best, I think we could have competed.
The last 2 games of the series was 2-1. We lost 2-1 the last 2 games. But
yeah, they were close. I think the first game we weren't. I think we got intimidated or something because we weren't playing the way we normally played. Maybe it's the rap.
Maybe it was so bad it just made us worse. Guys. I'm not gonna play that for the stream. Or for the
You're not gonna put that?
God, no. I gotta figure out. I gotta find Juice's OT goal.
The rap.
Maybe the trade rape pictures.
And the rap.
Maybe the actual trade pictures. No, not the rap. I'm kind of upset you didn't mention my my goal.
Oh, your goal against self-plug? Yeah. That was
because it was just all the bad blood. Because to be able to hit him up with a question mark. Because they were hitting us with question marks, and you didn't fall into it. Were you encouraging it?
I let you guys do what you wanted. I'm a hands-off GM. I just you guys can BM if you want. I don't mind being the bad guy team.
Yeah.
But yeah, your goal against self-plug. I remember I was right in front of the net, and it hit right before I stick and bounced just over, and it was insane.
His corner. Kill Pessel on the forecheck. Kiwi's going to take his time with this one and send it deep. Send it deep, and it bounces in. And Kiwi scores.
Yeah.
It's just a great series. I love that series so much. It was so scary.
Yeah, I think that's might have been the most scared I've been playing HQ.
Yeah.
I did not want to lose.
You don't want to. But enough penis sucking that series, because
Okay.
even though it was so worth it.
Yeah.
Season 16 Hamilton. You GM again. 3 times in a row again. But you guys, forgive me if I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. But did you guys struggle a bit?
Oh, yeah.
I believe you guys did. You had at least slow start, low scoring, because you took BG as a forward, which was everyone kind of doubted.
Yeah,
At the
like,
end of the season, they look stupid, but
yeah, early on, like, even like midway through the season, like I was having doubts we'd make the playoffs.
Was it trading for Gabe that really switched things, or was it just a matter of kind of waiting for things to click out, or just end up
Yeah,
clicking?
I think trading for Gabe was really big, just because I think it kind of filled 2 holes for us. Because I drafted Ghost in the second round as a defenseman, and then he ended up getting a job.
Oh,
Couldn't
yeah.
play for us anymore. So we didn't have. I don't remember who played D for us. Sorry, whoever played D.
Marchie and was it
Who's
Marchie and you?
Goats?
Was it Marchie and you?
What? I don't know, because I think
because BG was up. It was BG and Gabe up, and you and Marchie back.
no. I'm saying before the Gabe
before
trade.
the trade. Okay.
I don't remember who played D. I'm sorry.
It wasn't you.
Whoever
You
that
moved
was.
back in the middle of the season.
Yeah. As I trade for Gabe, like me and BG were offense. I was like, this isn't working. We need a forward. So I knew Self Plug wasn't very happy with Gabe, I think.
Yeah, because was it Gabe and Dildos are together, which kind of similar styles.
Yeah, and I think Self Plug wanted to start playing offense too. So
What was it? I'm trying to find the trade. What the actual trade was, because I'm gonna get pissed off if I start mentioning it, just because I feel like it was so heavily in your favor.
It was Ghost and Goose for Gabe
And Riven maybe, or someone.
Yeah, I don't
Gabe
remember
and
who.
Radades maybe. Hawk.
No.
Some not throwaway, but like some side player at that point.
Might have been Hawk. No, I don't remember who it was. Sorry again, whoever it was. But yeah, the trade was pretty big for us because it gave us like a forward we could trust by himself instead of me and BG, who were like, I kind of relied on my other forward, and BG was kind of the same. He wasn't like a finisher.
Yeah.
So it's nice to get one of those, and then I was able to move myself to defense, which me and Marchie on defense was pretty good.
And you guys win the cup over my Dallas.
Yeah, sorry about that.
In 7 games.
Blame
I read the post, and you said it was one of the closest series you've played in, and you gave a special shout out to PK.
Oh yeah, PK. Oh jeez, I keep beating PK, and I feel bad about it. Half of my cups have been beating PK in the finals now, I think.
Half, really? Season 10?
Yeah.
Let's count season 10. Yeah, it's 3 out of 5. Holy shit. You're a monster, Crab.
I have 6.
Oh yeah, sorry, you have 6, so 3 out of 6. Holy shit.
Yeah,
you
sorry,
have 6?
PK.
Oh yeah, you do have 6. Is it 6 and 11? In 11 appearances?
I think it's 10. I don't know. I think it's 10.
I'll double check this. So
yeah,
keep on saying
that was
sorry, PK.
that was a really good series, and PK was insane. Like, we'd get so many chances, and that PK would just stuff us on. It was pretty demoralizing. And but we kept within, just kept throwing stuff on net.
So, yeah, you get 1 cup. Starting your start of the is this? Do you think you're gonna be able to threepeat? Because you don't even GM the next season. So do you not even decide to?
I wasn't even thinking about a threepeat. I just playing 3. That was 3 seasons around GMing. Yeah, I was done GMing at that point. Like there was a little bit of drama on Ham that I just didn't want to.
Spill the beans.
well, you GM'd Margie this season, right? Did he
I know
did he
exactly what you're talking about.
did he threaten to retire like every other game?
Yeah, it usually came in. Well, I dealt with the whole Doug thing, and the whole thing was he
Uh-huh.
signed up because of Doug. So it was like I think I almost got it even worse because he was
Yeah.
like, well, it was like those first couple days. Like I actually thought he was not going to show up, and I thought I was going to have to trade him multiple times.
Yeah, I
But
had that feeling too.
after that, it was like it was like every it was like it's like you had to really try to get him to show up. Like you kind of knew he was going to show up,
Yeah.
but it was like
Like
it's annoying to have to try.
yeah, eventually like I figured out like he's just trolling when he says he's not going to show up,
Mm-hmm.
but it's like it's still stressful
You don't
and,
want to have it,
and
especially
threatening.
yeah, have your like one of your most reliable players do that. Do you
Yeah.
have to?
So
Is that the only drama you thought you can think of that season?
yeah, Gabe was actually good for us. Like he didn't. I mean, other than arguing with Margie a few times, he didn't cause that much drama.
Mm-hmm.
So I expect an apology from Margie for retiring me from GMing.
I'll double that one. So, well, why'd you switch to defense in the middle of the season? And you still play it now? So what do you like about defense?
Well, it was mostly I just felt like I wasn't as good as I used to be on offense, but I felt like my skills kind of translated pretty well to defense, where I can like I was always a pretty good forechecker, and that helps with defense. And I'm also passing was like my main aspect, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And that helps with the breakout. So I felt like I wasn't good anymore at the game, but I could maybe still salvage some skill left and
Do you think?
play a few more seasons.
So I was gonna ask, what do you have to say about the people that think you're washed up? Are you saying you agree with them, Crab?
I mean, we'll see, because I think I might play forward this next season.
Oh, inside scoop.
I don't I don't know. It feels like half this game, or even like 90% of this game, is like mental, and you need to know your surroundings and know what to do with the puck. Like once you get to a certain skill set, it's mostly just knowing what to do with the puck. And I wasn't good at that for a while. Like I was passing too much and didn't really peeking into people. So defense was good for me. But, once pubstars is back, I might be ready for a comeback forward.
You never went anywhere, buddy.
So all the haters, you're partially right.
You're not bad, but you're washed up.
Yeah, I'm pretty washed up, but I'm still usable.
And what does it feel like now to become after this Dallas win? If you want to, you can say some things if you want to, but what does it feel like now to be the most successful ALHL player, surpassing Dalfan? You both had 5 cups in 9 appearances, but now you have 6 and 10, and then you went like a full calendar year in the finals. How does it feel to be like the most successful player and GM? I don't know if it's facts on the GM, but I think it pretty much is.
It feels pretty good. I mean, it's a dumb video game that some guy made in a weekend, but like the game a lot of us care about, and then like we built this community around it. And I remember like season 1, like before season 1, when I first started playing the game.
You young little crab.
Yeah, young little crab. I had so many views on the world. I was bright-eyed, impressionable young crab. I was like, wow, this community is pretty small. I could be the best in this game. And then I started practicing. I'm probably not the best in this game, but no one has more cups than me, so
that's true. You're most successful.
Suck it.
Yeah, tell him to suck it again.
Suck it.
Yeah.
Dalfan with your stupid 5 cups. Come at me when you got 6.
6 and 10. He can get 6, but if he gets in 11s, not as cool. You ready for some deep question? Actually, sorry. Out of the Cup winners that you've been on, who do you think's been the strongest?
Probably Cleveland was pretty stacked.
Not even relative to the league around them, just all like if you put them against the best players you can find.
Like who's the best team?
Yeah, not like relative to like their own like season,
Okay.
like of all time in a vacuum.
How the people played that season though? Like if someone was in like Lucic in their prime, season 12.
Yeah, season
Yeah.
12 Lucic would be on that team.
Yeah, I'd probably still say Cleveland. Like we had a little bit of a question mark at goalie. Like Ace was fine, but late in the season, like when we went up against Gabe, Gabe was like really good in net, and that was like the Chicago's one advantage over us, I think.
Yeah.
But that was probably the most stacked. Maybe Dallas was pretty good. Goose was insane. And we had Dial. I just think I wasn't as good as I usually am. Good enough though.
True.
Season 11, that was really good. That was probably the best I've played in the playoffs.
So season 12 is the pick, the number one.
Yeah, I'd say season 12 is probably the best team I've been on.
Okay. Well, what about your favorite team that you've been on? I might as well throw that here.
Favorite team?
This doesn't have to be fun, whatever.
I really like Nashville. Nashville was a lot of fun.
Very good pick.
I think my favorite cup win was probably Edmonton.
As the underdog.
Because everyone loves an underdog story, yeah. And
very respectable.
It was a lot of fun, like knowing that I think everyone on the team bought in that we could win, but like no one else in the league gave us a chance.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that made that season fun when we eventually came out on top. Dallas again.
You guys are number one, doesn't count.
Yeah.
But now, as per the request of Otto, and what I want to do as well, pick your brain a bit. How do you go about leading a team, being a GM that you are? You said you were hands-off before. You want to elaborate on that?
I'm usually pretty hands-off and just kind of I just kind of let the team come together on its own. So I feel like most of my job as GM is just picking the right guys. Like picking the guys that I think play the way that I want them to play. Like I want smart defensemen who won't eat up the ice and lose it. I think that's probably most of what I want. I think it all starts on defense. If you can get just skilled forwards, you can usually do pretty well, but it all stems from your defenseman making smart decision and to break out the puck.
Yeah, that's actually perfect because that leads me to my next question. Unless there's anything else you want to elaborate on.
No, I think yeah.
Well, the next question,
that's my GM. So.
Yeah, the next question is your teams all play a kind of a similar style. Is that like slower, pass-centric, not as many shots on net, but they're high-quality chances that they get to, and they're not afraid to go back to a defenseman or across to someone? Is that a thing that you set, or is it, again, picking the right players around them? And
yeah,
that could be. Do you think that's a reason why your team starts slow as they get more familiar with people?
Yeah, I think that's probably a big reason. Like most of my teams do start slow, and it's just getting used to each other
by the end of the season.
Just repetition of getting the pucks to each other and knowing where everyone is, and just I like teams to play like a patient game where wait to see like best option where the puck should be, but don't wait too long and turn it over. I don't know. Yeah, it's mostly just picking the right guys who I think are gonna be smart, play the way I want them to play.
Yeah, for sure. Hmm. I already asked you about your regret, which was trading Jerry. You can say sorry to Jerry again.
Sorry, Jerry. I think I think we could have won without trading for Lucic, but you know my obsession with the threepeat wanted the guarantee, which was trading for Lucic.
Hmm. But what is?
I,
Do you have a favorite or memorable play?
the
Hopefully,
play
preferably one I could find a clip of, but
I can find you a clip of the season 2
the
play
pass.
where I
It's cool.
passed it to Goose, and yeah, that's still one of my favorite plays. And
Why? Just because it's is it nostalgic? A cloud of nostalgia?
yeah, I guess so. It was like one of the first plays I really got excited about, and like you know I wanted to get better at the game after that and do that again.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a big play. And then I think season 11 playoffs. I think we won games 1 and 2 in both in OT. And I think I got game-winning assists in both of those, and they're both like pretty nifty plays. So I really like that series just because those games were so intense, and we made some clutch plays for the end. So I really like those plays. There's also the Kiwi shot heard around the world.
That you didn't mention when I asked you about it. I had to beg it out of you.
Yeah, well, I remember it now.
Yeah, but that's your favorite play because you stood on the side.
Yeah, I watched history happen.
Well,
Uh,
we'll go
yeah.
on. Do you have anything else?
Probably got more plays. Like this past season, I had 1 goal the whole regular season, and going into games 5, 6, and 7, I told my team, I'm gonna double my goal total this today, and I ended up scoring the game-winning goal in game 6. So
Yeah, that was a nice shot.
that was fun.
Hmm. Ready for some rapid fire questions? Not
I'm
really.
ready.
Depends how fast you answer, but what are any players you wish you play with?
I think I've got it around a lot.
Yeah. No whore.
I've played with Otto and HQML, but not LHL. So I guess I'd like to play with him in LHL.
Mhm.
Oh, I've never played with DMB actually, other than HQML.
Mhm.
I've wanted to play with DMB. I hope he signs up season. I want to play with him.
It's been a rough couple seasons.
Yeah, hope he's not demoralized. Yeah, I'd want to play with DMB.
You ready for everyone's favorite question?
Yeah.
Who is on your dream team?
Oh
You
boy.
can do all time, current, however you want to do it. Both, I don't care.
Okay. All time gonna
Yeah.
be. I'll put Matt and Otto on offense. I don't know if they'd work together, but Matt is one of the craziest players of all time, and that season 14-15 Otto, I think that's the best stretch anyone's ever played.
I keep on mentioning it, but like I rewatched those when I was doing his interview. It's so damn insane. I was watching the final season 14, just watching how many chances he got out of nothing. It was just insane.
So yeah, I don't know if those guys would mix, but I think those are like the 2 best players to ever play.
Why aren't you putting yourself on forward?
Season 13 me maybe.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think that they're more skilled.
So you're gonna be on D. You'll be lefty.
On defense, I'd put Taze. Oh, there's a dog barking.
Doggone wolf.
I put Taze. Hey,
I
put Taze and Dalfan.
Where are you, Crab?
I'm playing net.
Oh.
No.
Who are you? Have to be on it. I don't care. You have to be on it.
If I had to slot in, I guess it'd be me and Taze on D. But I really I like a lot of people have some problems with Delphin, but I like him.
Mm-hmm.
He was like one of the guys that like kind of made me go to that next step. Where like I know like season 7 and season 8, he like would like watch videos and
Yeah.
make videos for teammates,
I
and
wanted to ask this for season 11, but was there any? Were you kind of worried, or is that also kind of the reason you took him? That
yeah,
you knew he was like someone who analyzed the game and was that deep about it, and you're kind of the same. You may not, make the videos and PowerPoints and stuff, but
yeah,
you
that
actually look at it and you're really hands on with that stuff.
yeah, that was a big reason I took him. I wanted him to, cause I wanted to get better at the game too. I wanted to learn the game, so
Mm-hmm.
it seemed like he really knew what he was doing, and I really I wanted to get there too. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think Delphin's one of the best D-men to play the game. So him and Taze too. Taze is probably one of the better like neutral zone defensemen. Like if
Mm-hmm.
you put a puck up, like half the time he's gonna knock it away or steal it and send it the other way. So
Really good at jumping the gun and
yeah,
jumping up on a play.
yeah.
So you're on lefty because I'm not accepting Dalfan. Not
Okay.
Nothing against Dalfan, just against the rules of the dream teams where you should be on it unless you're a backup like Koof. That's why I gave him the exception. But
And then
who's in net?
in net I'd put a goalie tandem of
No tandems.
oh geez. A goalie tandem of Fat Scroll
Fat
and
Squirrel's your goalie. That's it. I'm
yeah.
not accepting the other answer.
But if I had to make a choice, I guess I'd take you just because you've played goalie longer than him,
Thank
and
you.
you've carried some
Well,
games
that
for
could
me.
also apply for your current team, which I will ask you about. So no Matt, I assume.
Oh yeah. Well, maybe he's really good still. No, probably not. Probably a little bit washed up by this point. Current team offense would be Dial, probably Dial and Otto, or maybe. Huh. I don't know if they'd work together either. If we're doing current, I want to be a little more specific.
Yeah.
Defense, I'd probably put Taze and Marchie on D. I guess me and Dial on offense. I make that work. And then put Goose in net. Goose carry.
Goose carry. You don't even need a carry with that team.
Yeah.
Everyone can pull their own weight.
Yeah. Like I know in your end of season post you talked about how surprised you were that how good Marchie was, and yeah, I was kind of the same way.
But is it worth the drama?
Well, it's the dream team, so
No drama. It's a happy world.
yeah, it's the Utopia HQM team.
Well, this might be fed in from the dream team, but since you played forward and defense, who are your top 3 forwards and top 3 defensemen?
Top forward is me. Top defenseman me. No. I'd probably put Otto number 1 forward. Is this all time?
Yeah,
All time.
all time.
Probably put Otto number 1 all time. Then Matt. Then Kyle probably.
And then you 4th?
Yeah, I'm floating somewhere over there. D-man. I'd probably put Hayes, Marchie. I'll throw in BG.
BG.
Sleeper BG.
How come not Dalfan after you?
Oh yeah, I forgot about Delphin.
Yeah, sorry to kick BG out there, but
Yeah, yeah.
it didn't make sense with the dream team.
Yeah, throw Delphin in at 1 or 2. Taze, Delphin, Marchie.
So Marchie's for sure 3rd.
Decide
between Taze and Dalfan right now.
Oh God.
I don't like this wishy-washy stuff.
Taze, just because he's played it longer. It's more
Okay.
consistent.
Good pick. Okay. Another rapid fire question from the Faceoff Ripoff. How come you have never become a BOC member?
Seems like too much work.
Too many people yelling at you?
I don't know. I think I could handle that, but I don't know. It seems like all the BOC
Hate their life.
leave BOC kicking and screaming, complaining. So I don't know if I want to get myself into that.
Yeah.
No, maybe in the future.
Is that a spoiler?
Am I BOC?
Yeah, do it. Maybe you should be a secret BOC when they elect more people.
Yeah, I'll be the secret BOC with me and Dial. We know Dial's pulling the strings.
Yeah, we all know that. That's true. He's pulling the interview strings and he's pulling BOC strings. He's just a puppeteering Tony. Do you agree or disagree?
I 100% agree that a puppy that Tony is a puppy and puppet of Dial. That Tony makes 0 decisions. It's all Dial.
Okay, enough shit talking then.
Okay.
You weren't BOC, but you have been pubstar admin, which
Yeah.
What's your thoughts? There's three parts, couple parts. Thoughts on being a pubstar admin? How do you do it? How is it like being an admin? And yeah, just start with that one.
Well, I became admin because Oma accidentally kicked himself from a server, and I guess I was the closest person he trusted at the time. So he gave me the password. And at that point, it was just me and Oma on admin. So
You want to leak the password because I think it's kind of funny what it was, if it was this at this point.
I don't know if it was what you're thinking about.
Sam 2.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, it was just Oma's name and the number 2. But yeah, it was kind of rough being one of 2 admins when you're playing pubstars, just because when something happens, everyone wants blood, and everyone comes to you to be the one to get that blood.
So what's
There's
your
a lot.
philosophy with dealing with all this?
I usually only kick someone if you're throwing the game. So like if someone's purposely sandbagging and trying to ruin someone else's experience, then I'll kick them. And for a while, I ignored Alter's stuff.
Were you the one that banned Alter?
No, that was Goose, I think, or Dial.
Is he permanently banned? What's the status?
I think everyone's been unbanned for the new season. Heard it here first. But yeah, I was usually pretty lenient on Alter just because he's just trash talking. But when he starts trash talking and other people start typing in the middle of the game and like missing pucks, I'm gonna start counting that as throwing the game. So I'm gonna start kicking.
That's a new season 7 rule or whatever.
Yeah. Just play the game and don't try to ruin the game.
Speaking of kicks, go on. Sorry.
No, that's it.
I was gonna say, speaking of kicks, you kicked the whether it be infamous or famous, you kicked Jeetlor. What thoughts on banning him for? Was it a couple weeks at first, and then turned lifetime, and then now it's back? Now it's off.
Yeah, I kicked him. I banned him when he G-inted you. Like he kept running into you in a pubstar. And then eventually he G-inted you when a puck was on its way to the net and the puck went in. So I banned him. And just didn't tell him when he was going to get unbanned because he seems to never learn his lessons. I just wanted him to sweat it out a little bit. And eventually I told him like 2 weeks. I'll unban you in 2 weeks. So that was his first unban. And then I didn't see the second time. But apparently it was bad. So he got banned again by Goose. But I didn't see that, so I don't know how bad it actually was.
Yeah.
But yeah, Jeetlor needs to get it together. And in my opinion, if he does something like that again, he's gonna get banned for the whole season. If we're gonna do these seasons now, actual seasons instead of.
Is this a confirmed thing? Can we get confirmation?
It's confirmed that I feel that way. But I'll have to talk to the other admins. Usually we just do it by like whoever kicks a person is the one that decides how it goes.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. Maybe we want to be more organized.
But is the season thing is going to be more resets than normal?
I'd like it to be.
Yeah.
But right now it's all in Omaha, and he's got a little baby in the house.
Yeah.
But
KS Auto. That's his
yeah,
baby.
gotta take care of KS Auto. Yeah. Hopefully Omaha will have time to reset the pubstars a few times every few months.
Yeah. Well, now I'll give you some time to rant about pubstars and its effect on the community if you want to go ahead and do that. Or how just you feel.
I think it's good for long time players. But yeah, it's not good for new players. Like I think Moo Man was in a couple threads and he's been here quite a bit, but he joined in like an off time where we weren't doing recruitment. Like like if there's just one new person, no one really wants to put up with that in pubstars. Like if there's a ton of new people, everyone will be like, they're trying. Look at how cute they are. But
I think Moo Man also is from like London or something, so he has a really high ping.
Yeah. So like he's playing pubstars and he kind of gets bullied a little bit. He's newer and doesn't play as much. He's like the only new person, so he's kind of got a target on his back. So I think it's pretty bad for new people. But I think everyone says that.
Yeah.
Not saying anything revolutionary there, but yeah, I don't know how to fix that other than hopefully we get enough new people where we can consistently get pubstar games going in like a extra server or something.
They were talking about making another server of 3,000 plus elo or something like that, or the top 30% or something like that, where the higher level players can play, and it gives more incentive for those that are better to play. So the servers
that'd
in
be
theory
cool.
Would be full, but it's just kind of complicated in how it would work. And Omaha's big thing is he doesn't want to have to do more work, anything else. He wants it to be done by all the admin commands and all the admins to be able to handle it.
That's why if I was BOC, I'd take some of our Twitch money and I start paying the people who put work into this game to pay Omaha to maybe put some extra work into pubstars, pay Baba to maybe put some extra work and give us some features in the game. Pay some streamers that I know they've talked about. Yeah. I think there's a lot of people that put a lot of work in this game for nothing.
Well, is leading into second last question, everyone's favorite. Are those the people you want to shout out, and who else do you want to give your final shout outs to?
I'm gonna shit Omaha just because I just said him and he's fresh in my mind.
Was that the first shout out you gave because you were kind of lagging out for a bit?
Yeah, Omaha. I'm gonna shout out Kiwi for interviewing me.
Thank you.
How long have we been going on?
This is the hour and 38-minute mark.
Okay, so I'm not gonna set the record.
I don't think you said. It depends on these shoutouts. Auto
okay.
Like 12 minutes for shoutouts.
Okay, I'm gonna shout out my dogs. I don't know if you're gonna cut that out, but you can hear them barking.
Not the second one, but not the barks, but I'll cut out the other one where they go in your room.
Okay. Yeah.
It'll be up to the users to find where I cut that. If you guess it, if you guess where I cut it correctly, you'll get $1 million $.
Ooh, stakes are high. I'm trying to remember where that happened to see if I can give any hints.
You have to get a pretty damn accurate guess.
Okay. I'm gonna shout out my dad who might be watching this right now. Well,
Maybe. And if he is, because I doubt if I get an interview, if he'll watch that, I'll shout him out as well. I think I mentioned this in Tony's, but he taught me not to play the puck, so I'll shout out your dad as well.
my other family members might be watching. My mom, I don't know.
She didn't help me out, so I'm not gonna shout her.
Yeah.
I actually want to mention something funny with your dad. During the final stream, he said, he was like, oh, like Omaha was like, oh, Mr. Crab, you raised some quality boys, and he's like, oh, thanks, Omaha, and Omaha was like, hi, I have a 2-month-old. Any advice? He's like, congrats. He just said congrats. He didn't give him any advice.
That's all I could say.
Oh, that was funny.
Good luck.
Yeah. But go on, your mom.
My mom, both my parents have been surprisingly supportive of me playing HCAM up to a point. They both, I know my dad like actually likes watching the games. My mom sometimes watches him. I don't know if she enjoys him. I don't think she does. I'm gonna shout out to Dallas for a job well done this past season, especially Goose for really stepping it up.
And you shout out yourself for building up Goose to the goalie he became.
Shout out to me for making Goose
14.
I was the one. I was the one that told him to be a goalie, because I think it was one of the RSL seasons he lost in the finals or something, and he was like pretty upset because he didn't think he played well. And he's like, I'm not good at this game anymore. Like, I like this game, but I'm just not good at it. I think I might just retire. I was like, you can always goalie. Like, people get pretty good pretty fast at goalie. So you can just pivot if you don't think you can play defense or forward.
It's a long-term plans, Crab. You're so good at them.
Yeah, you got to get in early on these guys, on these youngins. All these new guys who are joining the game. You know, just pick out a good one and just heal him. Become his friend, and then draft him late one year in the Easy Cup. Shout out to all the new guys. Let me know if you're good, and I'll take you under my wing. Shout out to everyone in HCAM. Is that the biggest shout out you've had?
I think it might be. Someone's gonna have to top that.
Okay, shout out to everyone in HCAM for being so awesome and part of this awesome community. Shout out to BG for me bashing you in this interview earlier. But forgiving me in later seasons after I trade you away. I don't know. I don't want to go too long with these shoutouts.
You want to end it there?
Yeah. I mean, I probably forgot someone I should have shouted out, but
you shouted out everyone in the HCAM community, so you're good.
Yeah. So shout out to you, guy I forgot.
I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up, folks. Thank you for listening. I appreciate it. There's gonna be more to come. I usually say my next guest. I hinted at it a couple times. Gonna be Tony next. That's already recorded. And then next is planning to be the one and only goalie sensation, now forward, might be back to goalie, Meat Sale. He's gonna be after Tony. So
one more shout out. Shout out if you made it this far. Like, this was really long, and I probably was pretty boring. No. But shout out to you if you made it. Jerry, I'm sorry.
Probably already stopped watching and started crying.
Shout out to Jerry for being traded by me. Sorry. We should have kept that Cleveland team together and just tried to win. I don't care if we lost. If we lost, who cares? Well, we had fun. Shout out to Lucic for saying I wish I didn't trade for him. You know, nothing against you. It's just I feel bad for Jerry.
Yeah. Well, is that it?
That's it.
Well, again, thank you everybody for watching. It's been a fun time. And Crab, you want to send him home?
What do you mean?
Say goodbye. Say thank you. Say good night. Say good morning.
Go home.
Go home, everybody.
Goodbye.